So, you want to break into program management but don't know where to start, or you have an interview coming up and you want to prepare for it in a very short period of time, then you are at the right place. Welcome to Techno Managers. I am an IMB alumni and I'll help you decode program management in the simplest way. So, let's discuss what you will learn in this course. See, the way I have structured this course is I've looked at the complete journey, starting from discussing the core fundamentals all the way to acing your interviews at the top firms. So, first of all, to build the foundation, what we'll do is we'll talk about introduction to program management, where we'll discuss what is it that a program manager actually does, why this role is so critical, and then we'll understand how program management is also changing in this AI era. Then we'll cover program lifecycle management and the common terms. This is what is the day-to-day reality of the job. So you will learn the language of program management and any frameworks or approaches that are used to run the programs from start to finish. And then we'll talk about the overview of change management. See, any major program that does involve change, right? So you learn how to manage the human side of that change. Once we've the foundation set up, we'll focus on cracking the interview. This is where we'll talk about what is it that the interview structure looks like. And we learn about every single round, starting from the initial screening to the final negotiation, so you know what exactly to expect. And then in section 5, this will be dedicated to helping you prepare for this role at FANG and other companies. We'll cover what are the differences in interviewing between large MNCs versus a fast-paced startup so that you can tailor your answers perfectly. We'll also look at how to crack the behavioral interview. See, this is the most challenging part, and you'll learn approaches like STAR so that you can tell a compelling story to highlight all your skills and impact. And finally, to equip you for success on the job, we'll also cover the program management best practices. So, this is where we'll have all the tips, tricks, and strategies that will separate the good program managers from the top 1%. By the end of this course, you'll not just be ready for the interview, but also be ready to excel in the role. Let's see who can benefit from this course. See, if you are targeting a top tier program manager role and aiming to become a strategic leader, then this course is definitely for you. So, firstly, anyone who's aspiring for program management or even somebody who's a TPM and they're actively targeting a program manager role at companies like FANG, other MNCs, or even fast growing startups, right? You will definitely find this course essential for interview preparation and even on the job success. Then, secondly, project managers who want to advance their careers, they will find this course invaluable because program management is kind of a natural next step for project managers who want to handle larger, more complex, and more strategic initiatives. Then, thirdly, anyone who's from technical leadership positions and they want to move on the program side because they want to apply their technical knowledge to a broader scope of work can also get benefited from this course. And then we have business analysts. See, business analysts, they excel at analyzing problems and recommending solutions, but they don't know how to execute it, right? So if they want to lead these large scale change initiatives that they've identified, then this course is definitely going to help them. Finally, startup founders or anybody applying for CEO's role, how they will find this course helpful is they will understand all the structured approach on how they can manage multiple initiatives or any change management in their company. Okay, so let's start with the first section, which is who actually is a program manager. So assume you are a program manager at Apple and Apple is planning to launch their new iPhone. See, it's not a single project, right? It's a massive coordinated program. It will require dozens of projects running in parallel and the scale is also huge. So there are multiple teams who will be working on the launch, right? See, firstly, let's say product and design team, they will be working on creating the design prototypes or ideating new features. Then there'll be hardware or software engineers. For example, the hardware engineers would be developing modules like chips, battery, camera, and then the software engineers will be working on conducting the hardware and software synchronization and internal validation. Then there could be the supply chain team, which will ensure that the production is scalable, the supply quality is being met. Then there's marketing team, they are working on the launch campaigns And then customer support team who are working to ramp themselves up so that they can track the customer feedback post launch and also track any performance issues. These are like a broad set of teams. Now, where does the program manager actually fit in? See, program manager, they are not going to design chips or write codes or launch any creatives, but they're still going to be at the intersection of design, execution, communication. How is it that they are doing it? Because they are the ones who will be ensuring that every sub project is working smoothly so that the larger goal is being achieved. So, what is it that they are exactly doing? See, firstly, they'll manage any project interdependencies or cross project planning. For example, let's say the software team, they are saying that there's going to be some delay. So they have to ensure that the marketing campaigns or the supply chain, those are not getting blocked. Secondly, they help flag any risks early on. For example, if manufacturing is running behind schedule, then they flag it to the leadership and help find alternatives, which could be, let's say, saying like, can we delay one market or can we cut a small feature? Thirdly, they also make sure that the communication flows smoothly across teams so that the deadlines, launch programs, dependencies, all that stays clear. And finally, they are the ones who make sure that the leadership and other stakeholders have a single view of the progress instead of different scattered reports. So, performance tracking and reporting is another critical piece that they look at. All in all, a program manager is one who will oversee multiple related projects to ensure they collectively achieve the organization's larger strategic goals. If you've liked my explanation till now, please subscribe to our channel Techno Managers. So let's understand what are the key skills required to succeed as a program manager. Firstly, strategic thinking is very important because program managers, they need to think beyond individual projects. They need to align the program goals with the broader organization strategy. This also involves evaluating how each project will contribute to the company's long-term success and growth. Now, the second is effective communication. See, because they are the liaisons between stakeholders and project teams, so they have to excel in very clear and concise communication. They also need to convey complex information effectively so that there's alignment across all levels. They also need to make sure that they are very actively listening because that's how they'll be able to address any stakeholder concerns and even foster trust between them. The third is organizational skills. See, because program managers are overseeing multiple interconnected projects, each has its own deadline, resources, stakeholders. So they are really managing all this complexity and hence they require all the organizational skills because they should be able to juggle multiple priorities without losing sight of the big picture. And finally, leadership and team management. See, being a program manager means that you have to influence people without authority. So they need to also motivate different team members, give them clear guidance, and encourage everyone to work together. Even when any challenges come up, they need to resolve all these and support their team members. That's why leadership and team management becomes very important skill for them. Now that we know the key skills, let's address like a very common question that's coming to every candidate's mind, like what happens to the role of a program manager in AI era? See, we all know that AI is no buzzword, right? It's happening. It's rewriting how organizations are working, how the decisions are being made, because AI is automating a lot of routine tasks and empowering the data driven execution. So that's why the role of a program manager is also evolving. Now, just from managing projects, they are also leading all the transformation charters. Let me assure you that the role of a program manager is not being eliminated, but rather it's being transformed. If we just do a quick comparison, in the traditional world, the program managers, they were more of like a human API, right? Like they were connecting different teams, making sure everyone was on the same page. Even when it came to data analysis, they were going through a lot of reports, spreadsheets to track progress. And in general, if you would have noticed, like problem solving was usually reactive, like, they would fix issues after they appeared. But in the AI era, now what's happening is program managers, they are focusing more on making people and AI work together smoothly. So they're building something that we can call as super teams. And instead of just looking at the reports, they are also able to use a lot of AI tools for quick insights, better decisions, on things like budget, timeline, resources. When it comes to risk management, that is also becoming more proactive because with AI's help, program managers can spot the potential problems early and take action on them. So just to put it in a simple way, the old focus was, more on manual coordination and later fixing the issues or doing the RCAs. But now, when they are working with AI, they're using data for faster and smarter decisions, and they're getting ahead of the risks also before they happen. So, this is kind of a shift that's happening. Something that you would have heard a lot of people say, that AI won't replace program managers, but those who use AI will replace those who don't, right? And before we go any further, I also want to clear up one more common confusion that occurs. So many people, what they do is they mix up program management with project and product management, but they are not the same. Let's see what are the differences. See, if we were to do a quick comparison, firstly talking about their area of focus, so program managers, they focus on the big picture. They manage like a group of related projects to make sure all the projects are working together and the company's larger goals are being achieved. But when it comes to project management, so project managers, they are focused on a single piece of work and they lead one specific project which has a defined scope, and they manage the team and resources assigned for that project. And when it comes to product management, so product managers are focused on the product itself, like they own all the vision and features for that single project, like they own all the vision and the features for that single product, and they work with design, engineering, marketing to build and launch it successfully. Talking about what is it that their tasks or their day-to-day work looks like, program manager coordinates across multiple projects and they solve issues that affect more than one team. So their tasks are more high level and strategic. But when it comes to project management, they have to go deeper in details of a single project. They will track the tasks or deadlines for that particular project, and hence their work will be more tactical in nature. For a product manager, see, they are the voice of the user. So they will manage the product's roadmap, listen to the customer feedback, decide what features to build. So their tasks are more granular and sometimes it can be technical in nature as well. Finally, how do we measure success for them? So for a program manager, it is important that all the projects are getting delivered and the value is getting generated, that the company is able to hit their targets. For a project manager, the project is getting completed as it is planned, it is meeting all the requirements, it is on time and within budget. These are the success criteria. And for a product manager, it is important that the product is finally being loved by the users, it's able to achieve the business goals and revenue and engagement, all that is happening. Now, one more thing that I would want to discuss is, even within different type of companies, the role of a program manager can differ significantly. So let's see how the role can vary from a large MNC versus a startup. I've put down the pointers in a tabular form so that it's easy for you to read and visualize. So please feel free to pause the video and read through. First, I'll talk about like what happens in an MNC. So in a multinational corporation, the environment is large, it's an established company, and mostly there are set structure processes, and the scale is also huge, right? In general, the core focus for a program manager is that they should be able to navigate the complexity and the process. And the programs in MNCs, they are often large. They can also be global in nature because it will involve numerous teams. They are working across different business units and even time zones. The main job here for a program manager would be that they are able to master the company's established processes and systems so that they are able to drive all these large scale initiatives. One of the primary skills here would be stakeholder management and influence, because in a large organization, one thing that's very important is all the stakeholders have to be, because there are often competing priorities. The program manager here plays a crucial role because they should be able to build relationships, communicate effectively across the complex hierarchy, and gain buy-in from the leaders in other departments. And then talking about the environment and process, so the program manager at times works within mature and sometimes these rigid operational frameworks, right? Challenge is not really like creating new process, but knowing how to navigate the existing ones and to be able to unblock their teams. because the roles here are more well defined and specialized. So, in short, like at an MNC, the program manager is the one who's using influence and knowledge of the system to steer all this massive, complex projects through a structured environment. But when it comes to startup, see, startup world is all about speed, agility, and building from the scratch. So here the core focus is that they are able to create structure and drive action. Working in startups can be a bit chaotic. So here the program manager, they actually need to create the frameworks and processes from scratch. They are the builders of the systems and not just the ones who are managing them. And here, the primary skill will be bias for action and adaptability because the environment is really ambiguous, the things are changing rapidly. They should be able to take decisions with limited information and pivot quickly. Here, they have to also wear multiple hats and make sure that the program is moving forward. Talk about the environment and the process, here, the line between the roles are very fluid. Like one day they might be looking at strategy, the next day they might be the one who's also doing the project management and tracking. So all in all, the program manager in a startup is expected to be like a more versatile problem solver who can fill in the gaps wherever it's required. I hope you've understood what it means by program management and how it is changing in the AI era. How is the role different in different companies, and a few common differences between program versus project versus product management. We are at the end of the video, and you can follow me on LinkedIn as I keep posting a lot of articles about business strategy. I would also like to share our list of books on guesstimates, behavioral interviews, and strategy, which is really super useful for anyone preparing for program management. So please find the link in the description. I hope you've learned something new in this video. I will meet you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and keep watching.